Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Animaking 2. And today I'm going to be giving you part 24 of What If Naruto was put through hell and adopted by the Raikage. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual. Share this all with your friends in social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected with Josh and Seal inside of him over Animaking 3 and enjoyed that guys. And I also post a brand new episode over in Making of What If Naruto was the hope of the Uchiha clan, so go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become part of the Making family. And thank you for all of your help and your support. And yeah, without further ado, what is to begin this new episode? Start the intro. So the last time we left off, Naruto told Toru and the others how he was able to fake his death by using a shedding snakeskin technique, as he also told them about his life while he was with the great sage snake, and it was horrible. At first, he thought that he was absolutely losing his mind, he was going crazy. He was able to befriend the other snakes though, despite the snake sage telling him that he's supposed to kill them and the strongest survive and the weak die. The sage was surprised when the weak came to help Naruto. They came towards his aid and protected him, and they were able to survive from slaughtering the food and devouring it. As the snake left after that, Naruto was able to continue his training. As the training became more intense, but he prevailed through it all. He told them that Naruto was dead as he was going by his new name, Toru. As he told them how he made his way to the land of iron and they found him, he was also lying to Mifune. As to him, they thought that he didn't have a past, that he was a new man starting over, but of course he knew about his path. But he hated Naruto so much. Naruto was the cause of all of his misery. Letting his guard down, allowing himself to be taken and allowing so many people to suffer. As he went through Kumo, he saw them, as Anko and Yugito came there towards the snake cave. Yugito don't understand, how would Kuro allow this man to sign the contract with them? She did not understand it at all. As Anko tried to challenge him, but he defeated her so quickly, as he said that he was going to kill her. But he stopped, as long as she would, well, be the one to help him on his journey and do what she said, so they can find the 9 tails and get it over with. Anko clenched her fist as he thought bad about Naruto the entire time, but he was doing this so that she could find something else to focus on. Because of the past 3 years she has been doing nothing but going to the cemetery over and over again. They have all been suffering, as he wanted him to find another drive, something else to focus on. And if that means him becoming an enemy that they hate, he would do that. He would rather that than to see them suffer. Meanwhile, as Sasuke thought bad about Naruto, Sumire lost it and attacked him. He had to place her under genjutsu as he had to apologize because she would not stop until he was dead. The girl was really overprotective about her brother. She did not believe that one bit he was dead, she believed that he was out there, waiting for her to come to save him. A memorial ceremony was going to happen at Kumo. As it was the 10th of October, it was Naruto's birthday. As all of them were gathered, the people were there. It was a festivity, a new celebration that was created by the Raikage, but to the ones that knew, they knew that it was a memorial service for Naruto, as Toru was going to ruin it. A further way of making them unable to recognize him as Naruto. He had faced off against Jiraiya, and Ma and Pa told him that the entire time that Toru was in sage mode, Jiraiya wasn't able to hit him though, as he was fast, he was swift, and he didn't attack. Maybe because of some of his techniques that Jiraiya knew. But he didn't attack one bit, as he made his way off from the hill. But then chaos erupted in the village, as the village was being attacked as he summoned Kuro. As Yugito jumped on Kuro's tail as he brought him straight up in the heavens. As Kuro looked over as he saw a giant mushroom in the sky. But it looked like a flying city. As Naruto told Kuro to fly towards it, as the thing was gathering chakra, a large amount of it, as he wondered what the hell was happening, and what this thing was. So yeah guys, so basically that's what I thought of you guys again. Switch across the list for yourself. So what's the new episode? Kuro zigzagging in the air as he dodged a cannonball that was shot from the flying city. They still had no idea what the hell was going on. Yugito gripped on tight to his tail, wishing that she wasn't here at the moment. She couldn't even scream out because she didn't want him to hear her. She wanted to see for herself if the man was as good as Jiraiya said he was. And for a censor, it was strange that he hadn't censored yet. "The path is a bit too crowded for me to land in," said Kuro. "I'll clear a path," said Torna, as he looked down, just if he asked, "Say what you're doing," as he held out his hand as his hand started to form. A ball of chocolate that swirled and swirled and swirled and swirled. "Sage art spiraling Rasengan," he said. Snakes emerged from his sleeve as he grabbed the Rasengan. As they started to use their head to bat it forward, the green chakra seeped into it as it kept on moving, destroying everything in its path. As it slammed into the heavier part of this floating island, the ninjas that were there turned into stone and burst into debris. It's imbued with Sage chakra. Whoever touched it, unprepared, will transform into a snake or rock, said Naruto. "Now let's get closer," said Naruto, as Kuro flew into land his own. Silently, Yugito watched. He had just used that Rasengan, the damn fourth Hokage technique. Jiraiya could also use it as well. From the battle, Jiraiya did not use his technique, so there was no way that he could have copied it. So where did he learn it? And from who? She clenched her fist as she wondered if this man was a spy from the damn fort. Or what if he was him, changing his appearance? What if he were here to keep them away from Naruto, instead of moving forward? That is why he kept on insulting him. She had to know what the hell was going on, as she kept her distance, so she wouldn't be spotted. "Kuro, disperse and go back to Kumo. They might need your help there." "I'll handle it," said Naruto. Kuro nodded as he poofed away, as Yugito watched the man. As he stood in front of a platoon of ninjas, with those strange contraptions that shoot kunais and shurikens, as Torna narrowed his eyes. "Stupid idiot," Naruto thought to himself. He hadn't noticed her. He was blinded by range, with these people attacking Kumo. And Kuro tough scale didn't help with that either, but now he could sense her. Tipping toe behind him, Yugito was here. She probably saw the move that he used. What could he say to her? That he learned the move through theory. She would probably tell the others, and they would try to get information from Kuro. He would just avoid answering anything for now. Let her come with her own suspicion, her own thoughts. But first off, he has to defeat these platoon of shinobis without giving anything away. As he pulled out his katana, it's been a while since he used kenjutsu as he cracked his neck. Chakra flew into the blade until it started to increase in size. It deformed and twisted around like it was some kind of whip. This was a chakra saber manipulation technique given to him by the samurais. It was gonna be funny. They thought they had a longer range, but they had no idea. The shinobi's tense as Torna vanished. They saw after images rushing towards them, while the real Torna stood behind them. "Mizuki no Mai," he said, as they fell. Yugito cursed as she watched as clones popped up into existence, and they all rushed off. She didn't know which one of them was the real one. She dashed straight ahead. This was still an enemy base, and she had to know who was attacking Kumo. And she had to find the head of it all as well. And she had to find its person to make them pay. They destroyed her brother's birthday party, and no one missed their brother's birthday party, or else they will feel the full wrath of the two-tailed Jinchuriki as she was coming for the leader, whoever he is. As she made her way towards the stairs, she ended up in a wide room, white marble walls and floors. It took her a moment, but she realized she was in a hospital. There was no wounded, but there was someone here, the person. She could feel a nervous aura. Her nails elongate as she made her way and opened the door. She peeped inside as she saw a boy, maybe about 15 years old, with reddish brown hair, wrapped under a blue bandana, blue eyes, a cream colored vest and blue shorts. He was waiting, probably, to operate on the wounded from the battle, and he was extremely nervous. Perhaps it was his first time. Still, this didn't make any sense, only one medic, in such a large hospital. He then got up as he rushed towards the door. As he opened it and looked outside, she grabbed him by the throat, her nails pressing up against him. "If you want to live, start talking. I'm extremely pissed right now. Are you one of the invaders?" the boy said, gulping. "Shino-sensei will forgive you if you surrender," he said nervously. "Listen up, brat, you're the invaders right here, right now. You're invading Kumo as we speak. Now before my other friends come here that smash at your Shino-sensei, you better start talking. Who are you?" I'm Amaru. I'm an apprentice to Shino-sensei, who's a really skilled medic ninja. And he said that we had to provide help to Kumo, that is under attack. We had the medical bay ready, and the hospital. We can't be the invaders. If I hadn't dodged volleys of cannonballs. And cool as to get here. Perhaps I might believe you, she said. So, would you cut the crap and tell me what this place is? She snapped at him. How dare this boy keep on spewing such nonsense when he just ruined a big part of her day. Her brother's memorial service. I don't know. Shino-sensei will probably explain. I can bring you to him, please. It will clear up the misunderstanding. He did seem sincere enough as she grabbed him by the neck. From behind. Start walking, she said. Meanwhile, we'd see. He had just finished one of those S-rank missions. He thought this would be the final one. Everything was against him from the beginning. Bad weather, bad allies, highly skilled enemy ninja, little to no contact with the outside sources. Yet he managed to survive the mission once more, out of sheer dumb luck. He had even just walked out. He could have sworn that he walked inside and killed the man that he was sent to take care of with an explosive, and just walked out he would have made out fine. It seems like it was not his destiny to fall, but why not? He didn't know what the hell was going on. The traps didn't went off. The dogs didn't sniff him out. The guards didn't notice him. Everything that should go wrong did not. It was like there was a guardian angel watching over him and keeping him safe. He had done his best though to return on the 10th of October. From that day he felt like a complete failure. He was a sensory ninja of the group and yet he failed to protect the boy. He did not sense it until it was too late. The boy had died because of his incompetence. He felt like a failure. Why should he live while the boy was dead? He was so happy, so naive. All of them thought that nothing would happen. They were in the daimyo's palace. And yet they let their guard down. And he was taken and killed. He then felt something as he paused. It was like a green miniature sun. A chakra that was so bright it overwhelmed the entire village. It then vanished. See, wonder what the hell was going on. It wasn't that far away. Then he sensed Raikage, Anko, Darue, B. In Tail B's form. Why would B need to be in Tail B's form? So would that C rush forward as fast as possible. When he arrived near the gates, he saw the craters from explosives. As he heard chaos ensuing inside the village, he rushed toward the center as he heard the Raikage yelling for the Jonins to find out what happened, where Yugito and the bastard from the Iron Line went. B stood in his Haxabi form looking for more problems to solve. As C raised the arrow near Niskagi, C reporting for duty. Mission completed, as Darui gave him a nod. As Uncle gave him 2 fingers up. As she was kicking a pile of enemy ninjas right in their nuts over and over again. As B gave him a thumbs up before turning his gaze back out. It's about time. We were about to eat the cake when these damn bastards attack and ruin Naruto's birthday party. These damn son of a... The Raikage started to swear as Uncle prolonged it. Where is Yugito-san? And where did the bastard of the Iron Line go? Bastard of the Iron Line? Said C confused. As Uncle filled him in. Ass of the land of iron. He doesn't even fall for my womanly charms. He's a frigid, I tell you. He's called Turner. He was able to make Jiraiya sweat after the battle. He challenged him. I did not sweat against him, Jiraiya said, as he arrived. He just doesn't hold true to his strength. And I saw Yugito holding on to Kuro's tail. Turner was on top of his head. They went somewhere in the mountains. Might be him then, said C. When he arrived outside the village, I felt a spike of chakra enormous that was heading straight towards the mountain. Must be Senjutsu mode, Jiraiya said. He can basically keep it up for coming, no how long. B. Darui, go and get the cat back. C. Look if there's any more unknown chakra signatures around here. Midarashi-san, torture some good info of them. It would be my honor, Uncle said. Well boys, she said that sadistic smile. I guess the fun is just starting. As she had a sweet smile on her face, as she pulled her kuna and licked the tip. Meanwhile, with Turner, the wind chakra ripped through platoons after platoons. It was how incredibly slow they were. It was like they were crawling towards him. Perhaps it was his senses, perhaps it was his harsh training, but they were moving like slugs coming towards him. Their weapons weren't fast. It might launch kunais fast, but he could see them rather quickly. As he evaded and dodged, he sliced, he split. He took down within seconds. As Naruto felt normal, it was his duty to do this, to protect Kumo. Although he was Turner, protecting Kumo felt right to him. As he reached a central area, with an old man sitting on a throne, a look of annoyance on his face. As Turner just looked at the man for a brief moment. Before he spoke, you're the most stupidest man in the entire elemental nation. Not only have you attacked Kumo, but you attacked it on the 10th of October. They're so pissed right now with the Raikage, the Haxabi Jinjoki, Nibi Jinjoki, and Uncle Minarashi, Darue, see, all of them. You destroy a very heartwarming party. And you also attacked me. Tarna, the first tracker of the land of iron. Tarna the snakes. And for that, you'll pay for your life. The man simply grinned as he got off his throne. His grey hair turned black as his shirt ripped because of the muscle mass. You have no idea what I contain. With this technique I can defeat everyone, and with the dark chakra gathering from the city despair, from the fear that you gave to my man, I got more than enough. Tarna rolled his eyes, so what, he had dark chakra. He had chakra suppressing chains, and as long as Tarna-san, as he froze. God damn it. He already had to explain the Rasengan. The Uzumaki chains would be too much. As Yugito entered the room with a boy in front of her, her nails extended towards the throat. Please, Shino-sensei, tell me that it's not true. We're here to help them from the invaders, not invading them, correct? The boy asked. The muscular man smirked, before he laughed out loud. Amaru-chan, there's nothing to say about this, because it's all true. I never lied to you, nor did I consider you my student. All that I saw was another source of despair from you, a ever-growing one. The man looked down as Tarna sliced into his chest. He brought his fist down as Tarna moved as the man shattered the ground. The man's chest healed within a second. As the boy dropped down to the ground crying, Yugito watched him as he was crying in despair and agony. She was always weak for crying kids. Yugito-san, can you please take her and leave? Yugito blinked at her as she looked down towards the... It was indeed a girl. She was just dressed like a boy. She should have noticed that. I can handle this myself, said Tarna as he drove his blade right through Shino's chest, pierced him to the wall. As Shino roared, darkness waved as he released a massive wave of darkness towards Yugito and the trying girl on the ground. Yugito braced herself as she stepped in front of the girl, but the attack was blocked by Tarna, who was wielding two small ninjatos that looked so familiar. I said leave, Tarna yelled. If you can't follow orders, then go take a course. But get the girl out of here. Yugito gritted her teeth as she picked up the girl, who clutched onto her chest as she ran off with her. Why was she stuck with the kids and the assholes? Finally, as two snakes came from Naruto's sleeve, Shino shot forward and slammed Tarna into the wall, crumbling under the weight. Ow, that had to hurt, the black snake said. Shino narrowed his eyes towards the snake that stood there calmly not doing anything. Well, not really, the white snake said. You just pissed off the boss. Shino looked back as blue chains shot from the wall as they wrapped around him tightly and banged him into the ground. Shino felt his chakra being sucked away. Impossible. These are... Shino knew that the chakra chains are bloodline related, but only one kind could do that, and they belonged to Uzu. Furthermore, it barely had one or two members surviving. The man was right, he truly shouldn't have attacked Kumo. Maybe Konoha would have been better. It won't be enough, he screamed. Hashaimen, as he opened all of the gates. That would have killed a normal man, but it won't kill him because of his ability. His muscles were writhing and seemed like they were about to explode. He broke the chain with the amount of strength granted to him by the gates as he landed back, panting. As Shino shot forward as he blasted against the shield of chains that blocked Tarna, who simply stood there, unfazed. As the two snakes, Hikari and Yami, got behind Shino, Shino stopped for a moment as he decided for an all-out blow. As he formed an orb of dark chakra as he slammed it through the chains that gave way to ease as he slammed it through the boy. He smirked, knowing that he could not be. To his surprise, the boy poofed away. High Furnace Inferno. As Shino's eyes went wide as chains wrapped around him in a cocoon. As Yami released fire, and Hikari released the wind. As it all went towards the center where Shino was. The chains then got electrocuted as Shino screamed to the heavens. As he was fried, burned, ripped. Tarna pulled back his chains after a while as he looked at the charred, blackened body of the man. But the body didn't twitch. Tarna lost it as he moved forward and sliced the body up into pieces. Damn it, stay dead. Stay goddamn dead, he said. As he stabbed his chains into them and electrocuted the parts. Turned them to ashes. As the two snakes just stood there watching. Get the scale section to work on this place as soon as possible, Tarna muttered to Yami and Hikari as he placed his hand down. Summoning scale division. There was a poof. Many snakes appeared as they had kunais embedded on their tails, except for one of them who had a sharp ninjato with an eye patch, and he was also smoking. Well, if it isn't boss, what can Tabako do for you? A rattlesnake. Yes, the one with the eye patch was a rattlesnake. He spoke. His name was Tabako. Search, conquer, loot, and empty. Whatever we can use, I want you guys to take it, okay? send a report to Alpha and Beta, and Kumo is on our side. Yami and Hikari will be the second in command, while I explore my own. At that word, the Red Snake nodded, as he snapped towards his underlings. You heard the boss. Get to work, he said. Meanwhile, with Yugito. The girl had been crying for a while and Yugito didn't know how to help her, as she didn't really know her or that man. She was dashing from rooftop to rooftops when she heard crying as she turned to see the black and white snake, and also what looked like the tail division snakes attacking their pursuers, especially one of them that stand out as he was puffing on a cigarette, as he was using ninjato to slice down his enemies. Even the girl that was crying stopped crying and looked over, watching the scene with shock. A white snake then slicked her near to the two, as he raised his eyelids. Since he didn't have any eyebrows, Turner has killed the leaders of this man. He's no more, and we're now conquering this city. As the girl was shocked, Shino was dead, even after all that he said. But now, what did she had? Nothing at all, even the city was getting conquered. You are conquering the city? Shouldn't he be a neutral point? I mean, he's a trucker from Land of Iron, said Yugito. Shouldn't he? This is a flying travel city. If you do not like the word conquer, that doesn't really matter. You can bring your troubles to Mifune-sama and all your whinings. Yugito eyed twitch, even his snakes were bastards. Listen here, you. She was cut off as B and Darui landed on the rooftop, slightly cracking it. Yo, cat, we came to find you. We knew that you were fine, but you got the bros all worried. Did you find the bastards responsible? As Amaru moved behind Yugito, looking at a scary man that was rapping. Yes, Turner has already killed him. This girl is Amaru, said Yugito. She was being used by the man, and well, it turns out that Turner has his own private snake army, and they're now conquering the city. B and Darui raised eyebrow at that. Cool, so we got no work to do here. Still, I want to get that bastard myself, said Darui, as he turned his head towards the red snake that was smoking. Name is Tabako. All fine, Yami-san, the red snake said. As the white snake nodded her head, I think you should go back to Kumo. We can handle the situation here. At that moment, Hikari jumped down. The boss is in danger, he said. At that, Yami rolled her eyes. Damn you. Couldn't you wait until... She couldn't get to finish that sentence as hands emerged on the ground, trying to grab them. As he had to poof away, the Kumo ninja had to jump back as the hands tried to grab onto them. They didn't know what the hell this was as a strange leech monster. It was a zero tail, unknown to them, as it was fighting something, as they saw blue chains stab right into it. Yugito, Darui, and B realized what they were. Uzumaki chains. Yugito's eyes went murderous as she thought that red-headed bitch was there as she shot forward, as the others went after her, as Darui grabbed Amaru by the waist so that she wouldn't die because the city was going down. Amaru had gone from crying to screaming out, but Darui was calm, as Darui was used to jumping off large cliffs of Kumo, as he jumped and hopped from breaking down structure to breaking down structure. Calm down, all is fine, he said. You cool? As the girl was panting harshly as she dropped to her knees, she looked up with tears in her eyes. What do I do now, she said. Seen your house for the past couple of years destroyed. What do I do now? Calm down. You can start again and find a new purpose, he said. She said nothing as she watched that giant leech. It was being tied down by those blue chains. On the other hand, Yugito reached the battle as she saw that giant leech was slammed repeatedly into the wall. As she heard cursing as she saw that it was Turner coming out of the ground looking really pissed off. You know nothing of me, Turner screamed. Yugito wondered if he was losing it. Unknown to her, the thing was actually talking to him, but she wondered how can he use those chains. On the other hand, all the hands had stopped attacking her. Hundreds of them rushed towards Turner, but his chains would not let them come in as he ripped them apart. She looked at his hair. He had blonde hair. It was stained red, but it was blonde. He had blue eyes, dark blue, but they were blue nonetheless. Snake techniques that were taught to him by the snake saint Hakijo. He knew how to use Rasengan, and he had the Uzumaki bloodline. And he hated Naruto. He hated the boy with all his might. He hated himself. It's Naruto, she whispered. B eyes narrowed. Behind his shades was that real the bro. As B watches more and more chains exploded from his body. The chains ripped into the leech as it tore into its body, before wrapping her in so tight you could barely even see the leech anymore. It then twisted the thing as it ripped it into pieces. As the chains retracted back to him, he froze as he realized he gave a spectacle show to people that shouldn't be here. Damn it. He used up the chakra necessary in that fight, and though he had to drop the genjutsu next batch, was not here yet. He had to drop it as he turned his back, as Yugito leaped as she crashed down beside him. If he's not Naruto, I'm saving a bastard. If it is, I'm killing him for his actions, she thought. She reached out to grab him, as he hissed at her, "Leave me alone. I don't need your help." "Naruto," she said, "I know it's you. I know it. I don't know why you're doing this, but please stop it," she said. Her eyes turned watery. "If you don't, I'll force you to stop," she said, as she transformed without hesitating. She transformed in Nibi as she grabbed him in her mouth. He had to calm his clothing down not to attack her. "If you are Naruto, when did you turn into a bastard like this?" Monitabi growled, as she growled in her throat where he was. Turner did not respond to that. He was completely silent. Strangely too silent. "Not answering, huh? You made everyone worried, crying over your tomb. You better have a damn good excuse for this, because you're not getting away." Monitabi growled as the entire place calmed down and she jumped off, crashing on the ground with Venus has to be formed. As Amaru looked over to the distance as she saw the thing crashed down, as she saw the two Bichu form, creatures rushing towards them. She fainted. Monitabi on the other hand could feel that Yugito was nervous, a nervous wreck to be exact. On one side she was hoping that Taran and Naruto was the same person. On the other hand, she feared that it wasn't true, or that someone stronger than him had forced him under their will, and that he had to stay under control and he couldn't speak of his past. And she was also scared that it was not him, and that Tarna had a reasonable explanation for the things that he did. That means she was still acting her selfish whims, believing that her dead boy was still alive. "I'm not gonna spit you out until you answer me," Tarna of the snakes. "What's going on?" said Darui, as Nibi was still here keeping her mouth closed. As B, face darkened slightly. The cat think that the chakra is a bro. It took 5 more minutes. She then spat him out, as he got to his feet looking completely fine, as Yugito returned back to her normal form. Darui scratched the back of his head. "So? He's Naruto. He keep refusing, but I know it's him. And I want to know why the hell he's keep hiding the truth. My name is Tarna, and that's final," he said. "Stop trying to live a lie," as he turned. "Answer my question then. Where did you learn how to use your Rasengan? How are you using Uzumaki chains? Who the hell really are you?" she asks. But he just kept on walking. But she quickly kept up with his pace. "Answer me," she yelled. But he simply ignored her. She clenched her fists. "If you won't answer me, I'll beat them out of you," she said. Her nails extended as she launched herself forward as he turned, opened his arm as she slashed him across the chest by accident, as blood sprayed from the wounds. She stopped in shock. Snakes wrapped around her wounds. "Happy now?" he said. Then in silence he just kept on moving, leaving them behind, shocked, and didn't know what was going on. He made his way. It hurt. It wasn't the slash that hurt. That was nothing. It hurt that he found out so quickly. Now with the probability that he was going to be in one hell of a trouble with Mifune and the Raikage, as both Jinchurikis had made their way back to the village rather quickly. He knew they wouldn't stay quiet. They would speak to aid. As Naruto growled as someone appeared, tearing off the snakes, it was none other than C, with a few Senbon needles in his hand. "I have some questions for you." Strange way to ask, as Tarna looked down. "Sending poisonous vapors my way to subdue me isn't the right way," as he coughed. But yet they did not do him anything. He walked through them like they were nothing. "You've been all but polite, which I found strange. I sensed your chakra from a long distance away, and after a chat with the Raikage and Jiraiya the Toad Sage, you could be a spy that was sent to impersonate the real chakras at sea." As he reached into his jacket to remove small pellets, they were smoke bombs. "So let me guess, I got a lot of chakra. I'm a asshole. So you think I'm a menace," said Tarna. "Oh, that's rather dumb." As C, with a speed that he didn't have 3 years ago, launched his Senbon right into his right foot. "That didn't hurt," said Tarna. "I can't feel my foot now as snakes moved down and removed the needle." "You must be immune to poison," said C. "In any case, I want to test that theory, and for that I'll face the wrath of the Iron Line if I have to." C fires several Senbon needles towards him, a scalpel in one of his other hands, as 2 anacondas came from Turner's back and blocked all the needles. As C moved forward as he twisted his body and feinted to the left and threw another batch of Senbon straight towards Turner's face. The snakes batted him away as C brought up the scalpel in his hand, as Turner simply knocked it away. But out of nowhere the man spat 3 Senbons out of his mouth. They were too close for Turner to dodge, as they stabbed him right in the cheek. And C saw it, the twist, as he saw the three whisker marks that fade in and fade out. As Naruto sighed, he was far too smarter and more able to see smaller details than the others, for him to give out with just silence. As Naruto dispelled the two anacondas and C stepped back, as Naruto told one of his snakes to tell the clones to stop gathering nature energy. As the snake poofed away, at the nature energy out of Naruto, he dissipated, and there he stood. His blue eyes, his blonde hair stood with a far brighter blonde. The red stain was still there, but it was barely there. His whisker marks pronounced, but they were kind of fading out. What gave me out, said Darna. Your chakra. How many people do you think have a bright burning sun of chakra in their body? The more the Raikage spoke, the more I find it strange. Why would someone from so far away hate a boy that he never met before? Searching for him or not? And I know exactly why you did. You thought if you came back as Naruto, you'd only bring them more suffering and pain. Whatever happened to you had shocked you so badly. You were tired of it, weren't you? So you came up with an entire new persona. The others didn't understand what you were trying to do, but I saw it. You were trying to snap them out of their sorrow. Trying to make Uncle snap out of that phase that she was in. Trying to make her forget. But deep down you know that you're wrong on what you're doing. So you created Tarna, the tough, cool personality that could bear it all on his shoulders without breaking down. At the time you thought it was all your fault. I bet you still think that it's all your fault, so you fake your death. Every single thing that happened. Ever since we met you always blame yourself. I blame the lingering brainwashing from Danzo's part. Because you always put all fault on yourself, despise. When things are out of your reach, when things that you can't control happen, you always blame yourself. But that does not matter. Come, let's go back. Everyone will forgive you, I'm sure of it. You did what you did at the time because you thought it was right. You can't have them living in pain any longer. I'm still gonna die, said Naruto. C looked at him confused. He looked to be 25. And C knew that he was in his teens. I made a promise to the Kyuubi. As C narrowed his eyes. You don't have to follow the Kyuubi deals. Or anyone else deals. You're no longer en route. You can go through without following your words. Especially when it concerned a demon. She was hateful, scornful, and always angry. But she was always there for me. I have to free her. And if I can't make her see her wrongdoings, I'll battle her. And this time I'll seal her once again inside myself. And depending on circumstances, I might just die with her. But no, C was cut off by Naruto. 3 years. I've been dead to you guys for 3 years, and yet you guys are still crying and mourn my death. And now that you know that I'm gonna die, what are you gonna do? Tie me down? Shackle me so I don't go off and risk my life? I have things that I have to do. You're right, I agreed to turn off the snakes. Because it hid me from my pain, but there's things that he had to do. And things that I still have left to do. That doesn't matter, I can help you. Just come back. I'll help you track down the Kyuubi. You know that nothing will stop me from doing what I wish to do, right? Said Naruto. Fine then. But you're the only one that would think that way. But still, said C, as he were walking back. I can try to make you change your ideas. Naruto chuckled at that. Kuru said the same thing. The next day, Naruto groaned in agony and pain. As he remembered what happened when he came back. He had been Iron Claw 40 times by the Raikage. And he was subjected to 96 fist bump. The appropriate amount that Killer Bee believed that he missed out on. And he did not do them soft. He added so much pressure behind his punches. Then he was slapped to death by Yugito. She wouldn't stop. His face was sore. And then Anko had came. She used some torturing methods on him. Nothing lethal. And Daru had came. And tried out his dull part of his bleed on him. And Jiraiya had came. He actually hit him with 2 Rasengans. They were not strong enough to kill anyone, but it was still hurting. Everyone was pissed at him. It was like they were trying to kill him for what he did. He ended up fainting in the last part, as Kuro had run away, knew that Yugito would be coming after him, because she was pissed and he kept the secret as well. He didn't even know where he was. He fainted and he woke up here. It took him a long moment to realize he was in his bed, the one that he left behind. And what the hell? He had this strange baggy, orange pajama on. Who the hell would buy this thing? He felt something weighing down his right arm as it was Uncle. It would have looked cute if she wasn't trying to bite him while mumbling something about Dango. His left arm was being scratched by Yugito like a scratching post, who was meowing in her sleep. For a normal meal it would have been heaven, but for him it was hell. He tried to slip away, but Yugito bit him as Uncle gripped onto his hand even tighter. He sighed as he just stayed there. Well, after what he did, he kind of deserved all of this. Yugito's eyes slowly opened. "You're not going anywhere," she said. "Yeah, you better know that," said Uncle, as she was also awake. "This is still punishment, you know." "Punishment? Well, a lot of men would pay to be in this position," said Uncle, "and yet you're whining. Just shut up and take your punishment like a man." "Well, you're my sisters. I don't exactly see you as women," said Naruto. He was still half asleep, so he said what was on his mind, without any filter. But that was the wrong thing to say. "Oh really?" Their eyebrows started to twitch. "Haven't I been punished enough?" he said. The both of them started to punch and bite him, as they really were biting him hard and punching him. Before they got up, "Now we're even," said Uncle. Yugito did not say that though. She still had more punishment to dish out. Uncle then turned, before she bumped him on the head. "That is for trying to get me to move on, when you were alive." As she ruffled his hair, before walking out of the room, he scratched the back of his head, as he looked towards Yugito with an awkward gaze. She stared at him, as Naruto gave her puppy dog eyes. "That no longer work. Graf do better than that." He sighed as snakes came up on him, as they discarded his pajamas in a fell swoop and transformed into his normal black and white clothing. As Yugito blushed as she turned her head. "Sister," said Naruto. "What is it, idiot?" she said. "Your face is all red," said Naruto as he stepped forward. "I'm fine, you idiot, stay back. You're all flustered," he said, as he made his way towards the kitchen. B couldn't hold a grudge no matter what it was, as B was in the kitchen with a fist bump already ready. As Naruto slammed his fist into it, the ear actually ruptured a bit, as it showed the strength behind two of their punches. "Yo, the Raikage want to see you," said Dory, as he was on the couch watching the TV. First thing in the morning. As Naruto gulped at that, Dory didn't keep a grudge, because that was not cool, as Uncle was rummaging through the fridge. "Well, I guess I'll be off," said Naruto. He then heard a war cry as the door was kicked open. "You're alive," said Shoko, with a smile on her face. "Good. Now we can kill you myself," she said, as she shot forward, actually trying to impale him with a stake. As Naruto moved, as he grabbed her hand, twisted her around and threw her. As he spun her, she landed on the couch. As he waved at her before making his way, Shoko jumped back to her feet, but he was gone. "Where is he?" she said as she looked around. "Raikage's office," said Uncle. C came out of his room as he yawned and stretched. "Good morning," he said as he looked around. Shoko, Uncle, B, Derwe, Yugito, who was red and flustered in the corner. As everyone turned over their head. "I was not flustered," she said. "Oh," said Uncle, "you saw him change, didn't you?" "He's surely grown. Last night I felt his muscles," she said. "Listen here," Yugito said in anger. "Just because he's all grown up, he's still a teenage boy. So get your mind out of the gutters." As Uncle laughed at that. "You know, if he got married, he would make a vow that he would never abandon his wife," said C. "And what do you mean by that?" asked Yugito, as Uncle burst out laughing. Meanwhile, at the Raikage's office, Samui glared at Naruto for a long moment, before she rolled her eyes, as she couldn't keep an angry stare at the man. His face was different, calmer, kinder. It was difficult to associate him with Turn of the Snakes. Turn had came back with C, saying that he would explain to C and the others in a private chamber. Everyone of Kumo started to panic when they heard. Chaos erupted. It was utter chaos as they thought that they would be in attack once again. As Naruto slowly entered the office, preparing himself to be Iron Claw once again. But he caught the flap jacket that was thrown his way. "You did the most idiotic thing that was ever to be done, boy. And you're going to do a most stupid idiotic one once again. So I rather you wear that on you. It might save your ass some more. It reinforces steel." He thought the Raikage would force him to explain once again, but the man understood. As his snakes made way to assimilate the flap jacket, as he tightened up against them. "On another note, you're lacking the Kumo headband, I was sure." Naruto smiled. He added his chakra to the seal as there was a poof, as the Kumo headband appeared. "I had one made stored away," said Naruto. "But now is not the time. I still have to be Tarna. It's essential for everything to go well in the dragon. If everyone knew who I am, it might bring problems in the long run. Especially him." The Raikage gritted his teeth at that, before he nodded. "Fine, boy. I'm sure you met the remaining member of your team. After I told her identity, she had run off." Naruto blinked. You're not talking about Shoko, are you? Yes, she's a feisty one, but she knew how to go around surviving anywhere. She's far more of a shinobi than a kunoichi. Plus, you'll bring the Kaiuchi and Joki back here before doing anything. No unsealing or anything, that is why I'm not sending C. Or Yugito with you. She's better off staying here until this Akatsuki is dealt with, said A. And when you're ready to do this unsealing, I'll be there too to back you up, said the Raikage. As Naruto was about to say something, but A waved him off. Listen up, boy. I'm not gonna let the tail of my son going around. Battling the fox don't mean doing anything about it. And think about it. The newly appointed Raikage, able to defeat the Kyuubi. Father, said Naruto. Despite his manly appearance, his eyes were watery. I'll make you proud, he said. You better be sure of that, said the Raikage, as he raised his fists. As Naruto gave the man a fist bump. Meanwhile, at the Ryuka cave. So, you doing anything tonight? Yummy, and Hikaru was there, with one of Naruto clones that always stay, Epstein. As I usually do, write my books, and read. Why don't you write something else? I mean, your books are too scary. Can't you write about gardening or something like that? Gardening? You realize I grow my own mushrooms here, right? Whoa, then write a mushroom book. No, said Epstein. Yami shook her head. Those who have hands have no ideas, and those who have ideas have no hands. Why don't you use your tail, Epstein asked. And covered in ink, are you mad? Do you know how much water it takes cleaned afterwards? Thanks, but no thanks. Meanwhile, Hokage was currently looking at his chessboard in front of him, his opponent had placed him in a sticky move. Things have changed for the Snake Sage. The place had changed differently. I'll move the king here, Hokage said, as it was now Kuro's turn. As Kuro played a single move and won, Hokage waited for the other snakes to attack him, because he lost, but no one did. Things were real different now. Usually, people wanted to take his position. After all, you had to fight and kill to stay on top, but now, they no longer did that. Try a calmer approach. It might work, said Kuro. I'll try that, Hokage said. As the poof, the shogi pieces returned back to normal, and where they were. Meanwhile, with Minato and Nagato. Seal, said Minato. As the giant, wooden statue, sort of fall down into the ground. Next to him, the body of the three tail was now gone. With the capture of the three tails, we should now turn our attention towards the eight tails. The human path spoke. Actually, leader, the flicker on one of the statues, showing an ethereal Kakazu, spoke up. The idiot of a Hidan could not catch a two-tailed Nibe, and now, we're stalking the outside of Kumo. We can't get him because he has some kind of Iron Line tracker. If we attack him, we risk the Iron Line coming after us. I can do it, said Minato. Without any conflict, I'm a missing in after all. Just an extremely powerful missing in, as people did not know that he was a part of the Akatsuki. No, Kakazu, Hidan. You wait until you find the perfect moment to attack and ambush the Nibi Jinjuriki. Do not fail me again. As they went off. What do we do now? Said Minato as he looked towards the human path. We go home, obviously. As the ex-Hokage Harashin him and the human path body away to a safe place. That would have taken them a long journey to get back. Can't wait to see Kushina, Minato thought happily. The human path then paused. The Naruto path has found something interesting. It concerns Katsumi-chan or Sumaira-chan. What? Did you find where she is? She's on a group mission with three other Soul ninjas heading towards Kumo. They are on a retrieval mission of sorts. Human path said. Can you intercept them? Asked Minato. He can reach them by the time they're in the land of hot springs. You do not intend to go there immediately, right? I can't, Minato said, raising an eyebrow. I didn't say that, but I suspect my cousin would like to see us both. Right. I have time to intercept them, after all. I got seals placed in a base there. Minato smiled at that if soon their family will be complete once more. And the problem, it was finally gone in the seat, and it would not be anymore. Meanwhile, in Konoha, a woman was on a rooftop, as she slowly watched a population moving by. Purple hair, a mask on her face. She was sure her prey was coming this way. Danzo-sama was clear. She just had to kill the woman. All this time the woman had faint being her mother. Danzo-sama would not lie to her, and Tree would not lie to her either. She waited as the woman went in her apartment. She waited until the woman put away her things and went to the bathroom to get a shower. The woman opened the window after she exited the bathroom. The woman on top of the roof simply jumped down, as she pierced a ninjato right to the woman's head, without hesitation. As she looked at the woman's face, her face looked so much like her mother trainer, but it wasn't her. With that, the purple hair Kunoichi lying on the ground, as she moved off. It was her job to do these things. She was a perfect weapon after all. the perfect weapon for Konoha. But guys, be in subscribe right here. If you want anything important to do, like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on the bell notifications I posted. Remember, share all of your friends to your social media platform. And also guys, go ahead and check out the brand new episode of What If Naruto Was the Hope of the Uchiha Clan over on Anime King, and enjoy that guys. And also over on Anime King 3, I posted a brand new episode of What If Naruto Was Neglected with Jashin Seal inside of him. So go ahead and enjoy that guys. And remember, if you're new, to go ahead and click that red subscribe button and become a part of the Anime King family. And thank you for all of your help and support. Remember to comment down below and tell me if you're new. I'll be playing talking back to all of you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm out for now. See you guys very soon. Peace out.